How you doing? Welcome back. My name is Rick and this is Winder's Ranger. So I've been watching this guy on YouTube for a while. He does cowboy cooking, outdoor cooking, cowboy cooking type stuff. And everything he cooks he uses cast iron. And I watched him enough, I guess he talked me into cast iron as the way to go instead of using Teflon non-stick stuff. So I went ahead and ordered some cast iron, and I thought I was ordering cast iron from a company called Lodge, which I think is out of like Kentucky or Tennessee. Turns out I got something called, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Cuisinart or something like that. I wasn't real sure about them when I got it because what I thought I was getting wasn't it. So I did some online searching, and I think this company's out of China, which is the last place I wanted to order from, but I've got it now, so I've got two options. Send it back or try to use it. So I did order another cast iron skillet from Stargazer, I think it's called. It hasn't shipped yet. It's like another week or two away, so I'm going to go ahead and try to re-season the 8-inch pan. I've got an 8-inch and I think it's a 12-inch. So we're going to try to re-season the 8-inch, get the pre-seasoning off of it here. So let me show you what we got. Alright, so this is the 12-inch pan. Comes with the glass lid. That's how I got sucked in. I was looking on Amazon and was looking at the Lodge stuff, and this was in the suggested field, and I was like, oh, glass lid, that's what I want. And so I got this, and you can see here I think it's going to be backwards, but Cuisinart. So there's the other one. This is off the pan. I just already cleaned the pre-seasoning off of it. That's why it's a little dirty. But anyway, Cuisinart. So wherever in the world they're from, I'm guessing probably China. But as far as the pre-seasoning goes, I mean that's why I didn't want to get a Chinese product. Is who knows what they're spraying in this thing, but it's got that rough, gritty, sandpapery feel that Kent Rollins is talking about. So we took the small pan and I used an orbital sander and smoothed everything down. I'll take you over here, show you that pan here in just a second, but this is what it looked like before we got started. As far as the quality of this product, yeah, this is the lid here. If you can see, try to get the angle, see the right there in that top lip up above my finger there, that was dented and bent up. So I don't know whether that was in shipping or packaging, but it was like that when I opened it up. It was the only blemish that I found on this product. Remains to be seen. Some of the issues with the Chinese products, from what I understand, can be they warp or could even crack just from regular use, you know, based on the heat. They don't handle the heat like some of the American products do. That doesn't mean they're all going to be like that, but we'll see. I'm gonna give it a try anyway. But here's the 8-inch pan, and you can kind of see the inside's got a different look to it because it's already been sanded with the orbital sander. I got in both the pour spouts there, made sure I get down in the corners good. I've already warmed it up on the stove here and put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in the pan. We've got the oven. Of course, we're using an RV oven, but we've got the oven preheating there. It's not going to be exact because it's an RV oven, but we're going to get this baby warmed up and stick her in the oven and see if we can get the first coat of seasoning on there, see how it comes out. He says, Kent Rollins says to preheat the oven to 300 and put the cast iron in the oven for about 40 minutes. So the lowest setting I've got is 350. So maybe we'll just shorten that up just a little bit, see how we do. I don't know. It's not a residential oven, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we'll give it a whirl. So we got the oven preheated. Handles, it's manageable. So he says put it on the middle rack. I've only got a middle rack, and we'll just slide that in there. Leave the handle here where we can get to it, and we'll set the timer, see what happens. And like I said, because it's an RV oven and it's going to be a little bit hotter probably than what I can turn down in a residential oven, we set it for 35 minutes instead of 40. So now just sit back and wait. we'll do is we're gonna turn the oven off. Might just crack the door a little bit just to kind of let the heat kind of cool down naturally. I don't want to bring it out of there just yet. We're going to let it cool down to room temperature, bring it out, and start the process over again. We'll warm it up on the top burner up here, and once we get it back up to a warm temperature where you can just hold your hand on the side of the pan, we'll add another layer of oil. You know, use a lint-free rag in the pan there to smear the oil around, and then back into the oven it goes. That'll be number 2. We'll go probably at least 3 times, maybe 4, depending on how we do here. So we'll let it sit and cool and check back here shortly. Let's see how it feels, if I can handle this. Yeah, it's warm, but I can hold on to it. Let's see what we got. It didn't exactly bake in like I thought it would. Maybe I didn't leave it in there long enough. Alright, well, I'm guessing this just didn't get hot enough, because you can see it's kind of got that collection of oil around the side there. So I think what we'll do is we're going to warm it up again. It's still pretty warm, but warm it up again on the stove. We'll get the oven going again, and we'll put it in and just leave it in a little bit longer. So I'm kind of guessing with this oven in the settings. I'm sure that it's not exact, and I don't have a temperature gauge inside. I wanted to get one, but didn't figure I really needed it. But looking at that oil, I'm thinking that's not near close enough. So we're going to give this another shot here. So let me get this going. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to add just a smidge of oil. Not going to put a whole lot in there. It's got a pretty good coating, but I'm guessing based on some of the videos that I've seen of Kent Rollins, is it just it didn't get hot enough to accept the oil to soak it into the metal the way it's supposed to. So I'm going to put just another small dab of oil in there just to kind of take up any bit that did get in, and back into the oven she goes. Well, that's I guess we'll call this number 1, since the first attempt didn't really take. But that's a far cry difference than the first attempt, the first 35 minutes that we did. I bumped the time up just a little bit. I think 45 minutes I did this time, and I bumped the temperature up. Again, keeping in mind this is an RV oven that I'm using. On the gauge here, you can see it got 350, 400, 425. I bumped it up to 425, and I definitely noticed a difference. I could smell the oil cooking a little bit more than I could the first go round. So she's still pretty hot. We're going to let it cool down a bit longer. I had to use an old firefighting glove that I've got, I use for my oven mitts. But we're going to let her cool down a little bit, and we'll go with number 2. But you can see there's a nice golden sheen there inside, so that's definitely a lot different than the first go round. So I think we're on to something here. There's coat number, what would this be? 1, 2, I guess it's technically coat number 3, but it's going to be oven time number 2 technically, because that first one didn't really take. So got the oven going. We'll go ahead and stick this bad boy in there. Turn the light on, you can kind of see it in there maybe. If we can get the camera right. Alright, so turn that off. Got her set at about 425, seemed to work pretty good. We'll wait another 45 minutes. So the timer just went off again, and we'll call this number 2. Definitely getting somewhere. It looks like it's kind of building up a little bit, you know, around the edges there in the corners. The last time I actually took a little bit of the real coarse salt like Kent Rollins was doing, and I put in there and just kind of rubbed it around and took that, you know, this excess layer, I took that down a little bit. I might do that again, I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much in there and it's running down the sides, I don't know. But doesn't look too bad. Super hot. It just came out of the oven, so we're going to let it sit here for a little bit. So, oh yeah, it's hot. So just going to let it sit and cool, and then we'll do number 3. Well, there's number 3. It doesn't look too bad. The lighting's not the greatest here, but maybe if I move off to the side here, maybe that'll help some. But I'd say she's ready. According to what I've seen, you don't have to go until it's completely black all the way across. So given that it's hot outside and it must be a bazillion degrees inside since I've been running the oven, we're going to stop here for the day. So tomorrow morning, maybe we'll try cooking breakfast in it. I don't have any bacon to do the bacon stick test or any of that, so but we'll try breakfast in the morning and see how it does.